Afternoon, Guelph. The writ has been dropped, and that means the 43rd election is underway. My name is Mark Peralivas, and that rhymes with for all of us. And I'm the People's Party candidate for the Guelph riding for this election. Nice to see you. So I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to do videos between now and the election, and I do them anyway, so you can check my channel. It's at the top of the website, or there's other various links you can find me. But who am I? First, I'll introduce myself. I'm Mark. I grew up in Guelph. I went to Ottawa Crescent and John F. Ross, and then I left for a little while for college, and then I came back, bought a house, and grew up, raised my family here. And in the course of that time, during that time, I worked in children's mental health. So from 2003 roughly to about 2015, I worked in group homes or elementary schools or high schools. And in doing that work, I learned what it means to help people and to advocate for people. I was a union steward during that time, and all through my time with my school board, I was involved in the union as well. So I have a lot of history of advocating for people and going to meetings specifically with goals to either advocate for people or negotiate contracts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So all of that said, in 2015, I moved on to the business world, and now I build websites for local companies and other companies online, et cetera. And so that's how I spend my time. What does the People's Party stand for? Oh, I'll also mention, I do a little YouTube show. I think it's important. I started following politics in 2018 very closely via YouTube during the provincial election, and I've been keeping up a daily show ever since. It's important for you to know that because I think it helps people to get to know me. That's a pretty authentic take on what I think about things. So go have a watch if you're interested. Okay, so what does the People's Party stand for? Well, the first thing that I'm enthusiastic about hearing from Mr. Bernier, the party's leader, is stop spending Canadian taxpayer dollars outside of Canada. We currently are committed to spending $2 billion on the Asian Infrastructure Bank. This is Justin Trudeau's idea, and that bank builds coal plants in China. It doesn't make any sense. And so we will pull money out of that. We will stop spending billions of dollars, $2 billion to be exact, in Africa, and another $2 billion in South America. All of that is developmental aid, and all of that should be being spent in Canada. Moving on, I think that we need to achieve sustainable immigration levels. I am a first-generation Canadian. My mom is a permanent resident. She's not even a Canadian citizen. She's currently in England, but she's coming back. She goes for 2 weeks every year. But she is not able to vote for me because it's not legal for her to vote. My dad is a citizen, and he is going to vote for me, I assume. But my party, the People's Party of Canada, is not anti-immigrant. We are pro a sustainable immigration program. We had a sustainable program before 2015 when nobody was racist. I remember being able to walk around and not be racist to discuss policy issues. And immigration is a policy issue. Fundamentally, a fiscal policy issue. If you overwhelm our systems, you cannot give it more to other people because the system is overwhelmed and broken. Just looking at our refugee processing used to take 6 months. Now the wait time is up over 2 years. And the costs of that are astronomical. It costs to house people. It costs to feed people. It costs to clothe people. And you're not just clothing people for short periods of time. It's year round, so you need lots of different clothes. We're in Canada after all, right? It costs to staff the courts and have the officials working people through the system, and there's lots of bureaucracy with that. The longer these hearings take, the more it costs. And so these bureaucratic costs add up very quickly, which is why this costs so much money. And the inaction on this has been incredibly frustrating because when you have a system that works, it works seamlessly. Nobody talks about it. But when you have a system that's broken, it's at the top of everybody's brain. Everybody wants to talk about it. And it's been poisoned. So I'm willing to be unpopular. I'm willing to say the things that I think and my party thinks. And I think that 150,000 people coming in with a high ratio of economic immigrants, that means immigrants who are connected with jobs, connected with community, is a better idea than having more people. And this will also help housing prices. Housing prices have gone up astronomically in the last 4 years. It's incredible. Even in the last 18 months, the cost to rent an apartment has been increasing quite a lot. And part of the reason for that is supply and demand. If we have a lot of people coming in and no inventory being added, or very expensive inventory being added, and if you're building a house, why build for a lower price range when you can build for a higher price range, and you can probably sell it at the higher price range? So there's not a lot of economic incentive to build for the lower price range. So what I'm saying is, fundamentally, when your supply is limited and your inventory is limited, then the rent goes up, and that hurts the poorest Canadians. And that took a long time to say, so I apologize. Fundamentally, I think that it is important to have these conversations because it's not about being racist or not, and it's not about just one aspect of the argument. There's a lot of aspects to the argument. It's complicated, and if you can't even talk about the problem, if you can't identify the problem, you can't solve the problem. And right now, instead of identifying the problem, people are name calling, and it's inappropriate. We need to actually engage with each other. We need to have the conversation. And that's what the People's Party is about. That's what I'm about. I hope that this election is a respectful one. I hope that this next 38 days till October 21st is filled with robust conversations and everybody learning something. And that's my hope. But we'll see how things turn out. If you want to join our team, that would be awesome. We're looking for door knockers, and we're looking for people who want to sign. You can sign up on the website at the ppcguelph.ca, or make a donation. That would be lovely as well. I'm looking forward to this, Guelph. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful... check out the ppcguelph.ca and check out the People's Party of Canada.ca, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.